Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Cardano for three charts, one against the um, Bitcoin charts, the other with Ethereum, and of course, US dollar. Let's go ahead and jump in. And first, I'm on the Cardano Bitcoin chart, but I just wanted to make a brief comment about what Bitcoin's doing right now as I'm recording. And we have broken $16,000. We're at 16,125-ish dollars. We've, just looking quickly at the hourly, um, we kind of peaked out at 16,163, and we've been trending up ever since uh, last night, um, and or early this morning, if you will, and finally broken that $16,000 level. Um, Although this is great news, a lot of altcoins are sitting and watching, so they're definitely bleeding against Bitcoin, which is not good news. And because of that, that Bitcoin dominance has taken a quite a big of a surge. Um, Against altcoins, and we're now above. As for the last few days, we were kind of just hugging underneath it. We are now above that line. Now, again, as I said before, this could happen. This could be just a wick. If we look at the weekly, we did experience that last week, um, but again, there's still a lot of the week left to see how this plays out. So definitely it's a wait and see moment. But let's go back to Cardano. And as I said with like any of the other altcoins, Cardano is going to be one that gets heavily affected by Bitcoin's price movements. So last week I mentioned that this would be the true test with Cardano. That we would need to hold this some sort of resemblance of support from the peak of 29, like from the run of 2019. This is where Bitcoin was running, but a lot of the altcoins were sitting and watching, including our Cardano, and didn't really get much of a gain to that. So this is pretty much like the only resemblance of a support until we get back to the levels of where it was prior to the most recent run. And I argued that this was, in my eyes, quite crucial, because Cardano against Bitcoin doesn't seem to have much of a trend. If it goes back to those levels, what we're really wanting to see essentially is some form of a higher low, right? So you can consider that this whole thing is a low, and if we do make a reversal here, this would be the next higher low. Um, which I think is extremely important for Cardano's movements here. And right now we kind of wicked down there last week, went back up, but however, because of Bitcoin being over $16,000, we have dropped about 4% on the day against Bitcoin today. And we're down 5, almost 6% for the week, and that's not good. Um, However, again, it's still a wait and see. A lot of things can happen for the week. We always mention that uh, it, it, it was entirely possible for the dominance chart to hover around this area like it did in the last two times. So this is entirely possible, and this could be, um, this could be just like a higher low, which is the best case scenario I think for Cardano. Um, against Ethereum, it's a little bit of a slightly different story. So yes, Cardano against Ethereum is back to these levels of where it was at the beginning of the crash, right? So if the crash of, like, the COVID crash, if you want to call it, in February, March, Cardano against Ethereum did dip to this level, and I did make a channel here, and you can see that we're just entering it. However, Cardano has against Ethereum looks to be more of an oscillator, rather than like growth, for example. So you see, we make these consistent highs against Ethereum in the past. The most recent one was just a few months ago. And we come back down, come back up. Like another similar, I wouldn't want to compare it to two, but when you look at coins like Basic Attention Token, it looks quite similar. If you look at, Litecoin gets a lot of hate, but if you look at Litecoin, it also Cardano against Ethereum makes these consecutive, consistent highs to a certain level, much like how Basic Attention Token does. So Cardano against Ethereum, I would say, is a little different than Cardano against Bitcoin. And considering that like Cardano is kind of like the Ethereum alternative in terms of smart contracts and staking, as long as ETH 2.0 isn't, like, I know that the launch is in December, but I personally have doubts about that because it's supposed to launch December 1st. They need like an exorbitant amount of money to start the validators in order to start ETH 2.0. And I think right now they're only about 10% the way there of people sending their Ethereum. Now that can definitely change within a month, but I understand that they need that amount of Ethereum in the smart contract, like in as validators by like before set like a week before the first, and we're already at the 12th of November, so time's ticking. As long as ETH 2.0 isn't necessarily a reality, like Cardano is going to be extremely relevant against Ethereum, and that's probably why you see um, these kind of oscillation movements because people hold Cardano in contention against Ethereum and vice versa. People hold Ethereum against Cardano, and so it might be a wise play. It's probably a wiser play um, to trade Cardano against Ethereum rather than Bitcoin because um, although with Bitcoin, you're going to get probably I'm speculating, but I'm pretty confident that you will see an extreme move like you saw at the end of in 2018 against Bitcoin. Um, but for the time being, it might be wise to be trading against Ethereum because it's a little bit more. I wouldn't want to say predictable, but definitely you can essentially time the top almost. Um, Now, I'm not going to say like if you buy like 10,000 Cardano here and then like do not sell until it reaches this level. As always, I would say probably you'd want to level off your sells and like in that manner. So you kind of give up some profit for the sake of selling, and it's always a good idea to sell when you're up. It's never a bad idea. You could do worse decisions. And finally, just closing off this video, I want us to take a look at the Cardano Tether or Cardano US dollar chart. And although when you look at Cardano against Bitcoin, Cardano against Ethereum, we both see a set like both charts show a similar macro downtrend, like downtrend. And mind you, like this is again like on the weekly chart. So it's been quite a while. It's been since July. We're down roughly 60% against Bitcoin, and we are roughly to the wick to where we are about 60% um, against Ethereum. However, Cardano is still roughly at 10 cents. It did peak out at about 15 cents, and we're down. Not like it's bad, but not as bad as others. It's down 30%. 30% drops, you guys, are going to be a dime a dozen within this cycle, as you already may know. And considering that Cardano has held this well, considering the move that Bitcoin is doing, and Cardano essentially being left behind, this is pretty good. And don't forget that uh, you could have bought at 2 cents, right? Even before that run up in 2019, it was at 3.5 cents. So if you did buy at this level, and you're now like you have, I would say you have not much of a reason to complain about Cardano's dollar against the dollar movements, because you're still at 10 cents. You almost you're holding at like over 3 times your dollar value still, despite the negative movements against Bitcoin, the negative movements against Ethereum. You are still up on your dollar significantly. And I don't necessarily say that lightly, because I'm more concerned with altcoins against Bitcoin, or against Ethereum for that matter. But it's always also wise to keep tabs on the dollar chart, because when you look at this, okay, last week I mentioned, along with the Cardano Bitcoin chart, that Cardano needs to hold this line, in my eyes, for resistance, as support against Bitcoin. I said the same thing about the US dollar. Like this channel here, where it is the peak of, or like the run of, like the 2019 bull market for Bitcoin. So that in relation to the Bitcoin against Bitcoin, it would be this area here that we're talking about. This one right here. Against the US dollar, like this is what I'm talking about. That's the same line. So this channel here, um, is currently acting as support. And I said, like, look, Cardano needs to hold this, make this area, or you can even say this area, a higher low to what Cardano was, um, uh, like 8 months ago, for example, and then make it as a rebound, and Cardano will be looking good. But essentially, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. We're still waiting on Cardano to make a move, and um, essentially, don't expect Cardano to make any big moves until Bitcoin's volatility goes down, because as of right now, Bitcoin is up 2.5% on the day, and we've just broke $16,000, and everyone's going to be suffering. Like, look at like what Chainlink's doing. It's dropping 5%, on the day. But if you like this video, hit the like button down below. If you really liked it, hit subscribe. I'll see y'all later, you guys. Take care.